Hello people, welcome back to Python for Everyone. In our last video, we went about covering a few important topics in Python, and I gave you these questions that you can see on the screen right now to practice on. So today we are going to try and solve them, to solve them. There are multiple ways of doing the same thing, but I will try to cover one or two if needed, as as a code or as an answer. Okay, so for the first one was add two numbers and then multiply the result by 3. So you can either take a variable, let's say I've taken a, and then another one 7. Okay, and then I save um, the result, the product, in a different variable, which will be, we want to add the numbers first. So a plus b, okay, and then we have to multiply it. Okay, it says add two numbers and multiply the result by 3. So obviously these will be in parentheses, in brackets over here, and then after the addition is done, we will multiply. Okay, and let's try printing. There we go. Okay, you can take a user input over here instead of just assigning values by yourself. If the question demands, or asks you that take a user input and then perform so and so task, do accordingly. Okay, second question. Find the remainder when 17 is divided by 5. Basically, we have to do division, but when we do this, okay, it's dividing and the answer will be a quotient. Okay, this is the question, not the remainder of the division. We can do a floor division as well. It'll give us a whole number instead of a decimal point, but the same thing. We want the remainder, so what we will be doing is we will do this to get the remainder, which is 2. Okay, you can assign a variable to it, and then perform the task and then have the variable printed. Or if you're in a hurry and you don't need to assign a variable, you can do it directly. Okay, third question, calculate, in brackets we have 5 plus 3 and then exponents of 2 minus 4. Okay, so it will go as parentheses. It will first work on the parentheses of the equation, and then it will work on the exponents, and then the subtraction will take place. Okay, we can simply, we can literally simply just do this. And we have the answer, or you can again assign a variable and then do it like this. Okay, basically you had the answer already in the question. You just had to execute the command. All right, now we have to use the floor division. Basically, we don't want a decimal point when we try to divide 15 by 4. Okay, so simple division, like I explained earlier, is basically 15 divided by 4, but we want floor division. Okay, so it will be 15 // 4. Okay, let's have it printed. A, okay, let's have both of them printed so it's even clearer for you. There you go. Simple division, we have a decimal point in the output, and for floor division it's rounded up to a whole number and our output is number 3. Question number 5, evaluate, in brackets a plus 2 multiplied by 5 minus 4. Okay, we can directly have this worked in the print function itself. It's 46. So first it worked on the bracket, so it performed addition first, then the multiplication. 8 plus 2 is 10 multiplied by 5 and then minus 4. Result is 46. Last question, what will be the output of 3 plus 6 divided by 2 multiplied by 4? The first thing that it will take care of is division, okay, which will be 6 divided by 2. Then it will take care of the multiplication, 6 divided by 2, 3 multiplied by 4, 12, and then 12 plus 3, 15. Okay, let's try and execute it. See, over here, I didn't use floor division, so I have 15.0 and now I have 15. But the question was asking just for the division, so there you go. You can once again assign a variable to it and have the variable printed, okay? Or you can simply use the print function and do it directly. You can it's just a math equation, so you can simply do this, okay? All right, that's about the questions that we covered in my last video. Today we are going to practice, like we're going to try and cover on as much as we can from everything that we've learned so far. All the videos, string methods, manipulation, slicing, indexing, all of that. Okay, let's see how we can go about doing it. The first thing, the first question that we will try and cover today is that we will try to print oh, sorry. Hello, Python. Okay. Um, Using print function. Okay. This is something that we covered in my very first video. It's very simple. Just assign a variable. Okay. And we create a string over here. Hello, Python with exclamation mark. And we have, using the print function, we will try to print it. Or we can simply use the print function and type the entire string inside it. Let me copy paste. There you go. Okay, done. Simple as that. Okay, so the next one is take user input for a name and greet them. Very simple. Let's say our user input will be using the input function. Again, another thing that we have already covered. This will be the prompt that will be shown on the user's screen, and then they will enter the name, and then we want to greet them, right? So we're going to say hello, okay, comma, plus a simple concatenation over here, concatenation of strings, our variable, let's say Himanshi. Hello, Himanshi. Done. Okay. Now, next question. How will we go about? Let's say I want to check data type of 5.5 using type function. Okay. It's very simple. Am I right? Print type 5.5. What's the type of 5.5? It's a float, we know that, but just this is just a revision of everything that we have covered so far. Okay. All right, next one. Let's say I want to convert a number 10 to a string and concatenate. Okay. We have to convert 10 to string and then concatenate it with like anything. So it's a number, so let's say I will directly do it. Instead of assigning a variable over here, I'll directly use the print function, concatenate, let's say solution. Okay, or you know what, it was a number, so let's do number. Okay, and so what we're doing here is we're concatenating it now. Okay, plus and we want to convert number 10 into a string, so we're going to typecast number 10. This, I hope you all remember, this is how we typecast an integer into a string. There you go. Okay, All right, next question. Let's say we want to concatenate using the F string method. We have covered it thoroughly um, in one of my previous videos. If you have doubts, please go through my channel. It'll be very easy to locate. It's the heading, it's the title itself is talking about it. The thumbnail also is talking about it, so you can go through it, and if you still have any questions, leave a comment and I'll cover them to the best of my knowledge. Okay, let's say I have variable. um, let's say it's Python. Okay, and now I want to concatenate using fstring method. I'm going to use the print function here. Okay, and how did we go about doing it? We typed f, and because we're working on a string, the entire thing will be in quotes. I hope you remember. Hello, this is what we wanted, right? And then curly brackets, and what do we put in that? We want to put the variable's name. Hello Python, f string used to concatenate strings. How simple was that? Okay, next question. Let's say I want to convert a string to uppercase. Okay, using the upper method. We have also covered this. So if, let's say I have a string, okay, Marley Hendrix Clapton. Name of my dogs, my very lovely and pain in my ass dogs. Okay, let's try to convert them. Try to use the method. Upper method is what we will be using here. Okay, so the first thing that will go is a. Okay, that's the variable that we're working on. An upper method. You see? All right. Okay, let's talk about indexing now. It's one of my very recent videos that I have uploaded. It's very simple. It might get a little confusing because indexing starts from 0 in Python, but when you calculate length of a string, it still starts with regular 1. Okay, so it can get a bit confusing. You have any questions, let me know. I'll cover it all again. I'll post a more detailed and more thorough version of indexing. Okay, let's say I want to access the first letter of this string. Okay, I have a string, let's say Python for everyone. Okay, and I want to access the first letter, which is P over here. Okay, what I will do is I can do it directly like this. 0, the first letter, and the index value of this P over here is a square brackets 0. Okay, or we can use the print function a square brackets 0. And similar way, if the question asked us for the last letter of the string, the very last letter of the string, which will be E over here, we will do print a square brackets -1, because negative indexing starts from -1. E. There we go. All right, let's say I want to slice uh, the first 3 characters of the string. Okay, I have a string. Okay, again, hello world. I want the first 3 characters, so I'm going to use a start point and an ending point over here, which will be a square brackets. The start point will be 0, colon, and we want the first 3 characters. We want H, E, and L over here. We don't want the second L. All right, and remember, when you are slicing in strings, you have to, the stop point, the ending point of the slice, you have to put one extra index value over there, because the slice, it will come and stop right before the ending point. Okay, so I will mention 3 here. So index value for H is 0, E is 1, and the first L is 2, but we have our first 3 characters. There you go. Okay. Let's try one of the questions that we have already covered in my last videos. Let's try PEDMAS or BODMAS, however you, call it. Let's say, okay. And now I have a variable x, okay. 10 plus 5, okay, multiplied by 2 minus 3, all right, and print x. So the first thing that it will do is it will work on the parentheses, the brackets, and then it will multiply it by 2, and then it will perform subtraction at the very end. So 27. All right, let's now try finding out the length of a string. Okay, let's create a string first. Hello, people. Length of A, this is how you calculate the length of a certain object, 14. Okay, now let's try to use one more method. Let's say instead of people, okay, instead of people, I want to say friends. Okay, so what I will use is I want to replace people with friends. All right, that's what I want to do. How will I go about doing it? Very simple. We're going to use the replace method, another one of things that we have covered, but these are practice questions which I want you to perform at your end as well, because it doesn't matter if you're watching this video, if you're understanding what I'm trying to convey over here, unless you practice everything 2 to 3 times, a bare minimum, you will not be able to recall it the next time you try to do perform the same code again. Okay, so it's very important you have hands-on practice. Okay. Let's say we have a text over here. Oh, we already have. We want to do this. All right. So instead of people, it should have friends over there. Okay. So let's try. Our variable is a. We will use replace method over here. Again, brackets. It's a method. All right. What do we want to replace? We want to replace people in. Remember, we're working on strings, so you have to keep it all in quotes. And what do we want to replace it with? I want to replace it with the word friends. Okay, there you go. Done. Let's see if, huh. But see, it was temporary. The variable, the value in the variable a, it is still hello people. All right, but for the time being, because we did not assign another variable over here and we were just using a print function in order to replace the word people from friends, it was temporary. So it did not convert, it did not change in the original variable. Okay? All right. Now, well, we've covered upper function, upper method, lower works in the same way. So let's not um, do that. Okay, so another question will be, we want to slice to extract, all right? Let's say thon from Python, okay? Oh, oh. This is what we want to extract. We want to take a slice, a chunk out of that string. We have this string, Python, okay? And I want THON out of it. I don't want anything to do with P or Y over there. All right. How will we go about doing it? Very simple. Our variable is a, right? Square brackets in indexing and in slicing. The square brackets are what we use. Now, what is the indexing of t over here? P is 0, y is 1, t will be 2. Okay, so the indexing, our starting point will be 2, and then we will leave it blank. because we want it to extract the entire thing. If I mentioned the index value of n over there, then it will stop at 0. Remember the end point when you put in a slice, it stops right before the number of index that you put over there. So we are going to leave it blank, and there you go. Okay, I think we've covered about 12 questions today. If you have any questions, if you have any doubts whatsoever, or if there is any particular topic that I've already covered in the past and you want me to go through it all over again, mention it in the comments below, and I will cover it all up to the best of my knowledge and as soon as possible. Now, thank you so much for your time, and for more coding tips, subscribe, like, and share with your other friends. And thank you so much for your time. Bye bye.